Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, into that heaven of freedom, my father, let my country awake. When I was a kid and I had read these lines and had to recite it in the assembly during the Independence Day, I never understood its meaning. Rightfully so, because for kids and while growing up, Independence Day, Republic Day, and all other national holidays are just extra touches to the weekend. But while growing up, as you grow older, the heart grows fonder. And that is exactly what has happened. Welcome to URL Freedom. Myself, Anisha Rai, and I am your host for today's. And for tonight, we are going to celebrate the grandeur of patriotism. Well, when I talk about patriotism, what exactly comes into our mind? Well, for me, the last few lines that I just recited. Because as I grew older, I understood the meaning behind these amazingly beautiful verses by Rabindranath Tagore. What a beautiful wishful thinking for a country that keeps getting younger with each passing year. So, as we celebrate patriotism, we celebrate the martyrs. The martyrs who are selflessly sacrificing their lives for the motherland. We celebrate the motherland who is selflessly sacrificing itself for its children. We celebrate the doctors, the nurses, the people on the front line, the people not exactly on the front line, but catering to so many children around us. The farmers, the policemen, to every single individual that truly, truly, truly believes in patriotism. And by patriotism, I mean believes in the love, the selfless, the pious love for the motherland that we exist in. Of course, freedom has its flaws, but then freedom has also revolutionized the entire existence of humankind. And how can we not dedicate a day to celebrate that? The beauty of freedom, the victory of secularism, the victory of democracy, the love and the unity of all of his children coming together and celebrating the Mother India. Happy Independence Day to all of you. I'm hoping you have all kickstarted Independence Day with lots of love in your heart because that is what is going to keep us going, right? So, welcome to URL Freedom. URL 2020 just can't stay away from you guys because you guys showered us with love and we are bound to come back to you again and again. So, welcome to URL 2020 URL Freedom. Now, before I keep talking about what we have in store for you, I think I'm going to take a few seconds to let you know what exactly we have in store for you guys today. So, let's have the video to tell you guys what URL Freedom has in store for you guys. Here is me officially welcoming you to the celebration of URL Freedom. So, you guys know what we have in store for you today. And as I promised you, this URL event keeps getting bigger and better with each passing day. And that is all thanks to these amazing team members who are working day and night behind making this event a success. the artists who are slowly becoming a part of family. And as I always say, nothing can actually exist without the love and the support that we get from you viewers. You viewers make URL what it is today. So thank you for all the love, for all the amazing wishes that you guys showered us with. Thank you and happy Independence Day to you again. Now, when I talk about independence, the most common thing that comes into our head is, well, the independence to go out and about, the independence to make our own life choices, the independence to wear a certain kind of clothing, to choose a certain kind of career path, to talk against certain things that we do not like, to revolutionize our voices and use it for the betterment of the society, the freedom to raise our voices against what's bad. Sometimes we also use our freedom to raise our voices for what's really wrong. But either way, that is what independence and freedom means to us. But sometimes independence is way beyond all of this. It's deeper than what is there on the surface. Have you ever given a thought about how it would be to have emotional independence? Well, the word clicks on your head but doesn't right get into it, right? And to explain you exactly about what I mean, we have with us the versatile and the multi-talented Nirmala Shekhar, who has started off her career in the field of software development and management, but has then gradually shifted to human transformation. She is currently a holistic practitioner, and we are beyond thrilled to kickstart URL freedom with a topic that should rightfully strike a chord with the generation of today and for people stuck in quarantine for the last 5 months. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to URL Freedom.
Thank you so much, Alicia. I really enjoyed the introduction. And Tagore
Thank
is
you,
my
ma'am.
favorite poet.
Rightfully so, ma'am. How are you, ma'am? How is your quarantine going?
I am enjoying my quarantine actually. My creative juices are flowing, and I'm making the most of this opportunity to go with it.
I think, ma'am, you are quite unique when you say that, because for most of the people, quarantine has taken a toll on our mental health. And
Yes,
I say that on behalf of a lot of people, and I say that on behalf of my own self as well. As the months went by, I think, more than the entire pandemic situation, what really bothered us was the fact that we have grown up as social animals. So the isolation has taken a lot of toll on our mental health, and on the fact
yes,
that we are isolated not just physically but even emotionally from the people that we love or we
yes,
like to be around. Right, ma'am?
yes,
So I think today what you're going to talk about is going to enhance the viewers, the listeners, into what is exactly going to happen beyond this pandemic into the world of emotional turbulences for the individuals. So, ma'am, I would like to tell you to take over and start off with your talk before we can continue with the interaction. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alicia. I wanted to first start off by thanking the entire school, Firoz Mohammed Sir, Saujanya, and the entire core team of URL for giving me this opportunity. I have been out of India for so long that this opportunity to spend Independence Day as a celebration is something that I'm going to cherish for a long, long time. So let me start off with, what does independence mean for a country? My understanding, independence means the ability to be free of outside interferences, to do what I think is important for my people as a country. And yes, I may have challenges as a country. We fall down, we find our own solutions, and get back on our feet. And when we need help, we then go on to get help, but do not depend on outside help for our success and our development. That, to me, I think, is the core of independence for a country. Now, change the country to the person, because a country is not just the land, a country is all the people that make up the country. And so, as a person, it becomes very important that we do not hold our success, our happiness in the hands of others. And we need to be independent. So when we talk about being independent, as you rightly said, you talked about freedom, the ability to move around everywhere, to meet friends, to say what I want, to have my own opinions. All of that would be mental independence, physical independence, financial independence. This is what people understand when they talk about freedom at an individual level. But I want to disagree on all those. Yes, those are important. But what I feel is most important as an independent person is my own emotional independence, which means I'm responsible for my happiness. I do not depend on outside factors. I do not am not addicted to outside factors, other people for my happiness, for my success. And yes, emotional independence also means that if I fall down and I need help, I am wise enough to go and seek help, get the help, and then come back to stand on my own 2 feet. This is very important, I feel, because Anisha, I really love the way you started off with Tagore's words. I love that poem. I have grown up with that poem. And Tagore says, into that heaven of freedom, my father, let my country
Let my
awake.
country awake.
Yes. And when you talk about heaven of freedom, there is no heaven of freedom where the individual people are suffering. Each individual in the country needs to find that heaven of freedom. And when you look at COVID situation, everybody is in panic. There's chaos in the outer world. So many of our physical liberties have been taken away from us. And when we look at that situation, there is no happiness outside. Our world, the last few decades, we have been blindly going faster and faster and faster to try and find happiness outside. And I feel COVID is a blessing in disguise. It's a blessing in disguise because it's put a break in the way we have been traveling. That's not the right path for our happiness. We cannot hold the outside world responsible for our happiness. And giving us this break period, forcing us to stay home, forcing us to do things by ourselves, I think that has forced many people, I hope, to go within for solutions. And when I go within for solutions, then I am able to find that happiness much more easily. And I want to give you an analogy. So you take your hand this way, you have the outside world and you have your inner world. When you have problems in the outer world, there's something within you that's holding those problems close to your heart. And when you detach, the outside world can remain as it is. You're not holding the problem close to you. So that inner work, I think, is what is important to be free emotionally. And when each one of us is free, and okay, I just want to also clarify this that emotional independence does not mean being upset and staying upset. When we need help, when we need support, seek that support. Get that support, stand back on your 2 feet, and then you don't need that support anymore. So that's what I would like to say about emotional independence. And yes, let each one of us find that independence within us, find that happiness within us.
Ma'am, I think those were truly, truly enriching words that you shared with us. But, ma'am, I personally, when this entire pandemic started off in the beginning, I was
Right.
extremely happy because, there was a kind of a break to the regular life in the beginning.
Yes.
So it was
Yes.
almost like an uncalled for vacation that we had. But
Right.
gradually when that extended, and
Mhm.
the pandemic situation worsened and everything, and I couldn't meet the people I like to meet, my friends, my family, my relatives. More than the physical distance and the entire situation of the pandemic, what really broke me down was the fact that when I needed someone to be beside me, I had no
Mhm.
one. And no matter what, ma'am, how much we tell about the revolution that digital world has brought about, it cannot
Yes.
actually replace the human touch, the human
Yes.
feelings, the warmth of human emotions. So, ma'am,
Yes.
we have grown up as people who are habituated to these kind of human emotions, human touch, the warmth of another person around us. How do you
Yes.
exactly think, ma'am, that we can transition from this social conditioning that we have grown up with into a new state of normal psychologically as well?
Right. I won't say it is easy, but nothing that is worth having has ever been achieved easily, right?
Right, ma'am.
So, yes, we are going to struggle. And let's take the example of a baby, right? How many times do they fall down before they learn to walk? But every time they pick themselves up, and every time they pick themselves up, their feet are getting stronger. And eventually, the feet are able to support the entire baby as they walk. And the only thing that keeps the baby trying is because it has no voice in its head that says you can't do this.
Right.
So I think each one of us can do this. There are untold resources, untold opportunities, treasures within us. We just need to decide, okay, I will choose to be happy, and then it is possible. It's not easy, but with persistence, every step, it becomes easier and easier. Until then, we get help from outside. Technology is there. We can use technology.
But, ma'am, sometimes what happens is that recovery can be destructive, self destructive, because social conditioning is something that is brainwashed into us from a very formative age. So it
Right.
cannot really be changed overnight. And 5 months, as compared to 20, 25 years of existence, is a huge contrast. So sometimes when
Yes.
we try to recover, when we try to pick ourselves up, we end up becoming self destructive, ma'am. So, how do you think
Yes.
we can actually handle that kind of a situation?
So I would say forget the old conditioning. Okay.
Right,
Uh, Another example would be water. If you take a jug of water, pour it into a glass, the water exists in the jug and in the glass. It's the same water, but it molds itself to the outer environment, retaining its
right.
inner. And we need to have that flexibility to mold ourselves in a changing outer world and still retain our essence. And when we are able to do that, it becomes easier.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. I think I needed to hear that because you are talking about something that is almost unheard of in the current situation, because the entire focus, the entire priority is about the pandemic. So people tend to
Yes.
ignore something that goes beyond this pandemic, something that goes on within the closed four
Yes.
walls of the house. So
Yes.
thank you, ma'am, for sharing your views and your thoughts. That truly was enriching. And thank you for your time, ma'am. I hope you're staying safe and taking care of yourself. And I
Yes.
hope this situation recovers soon and we
Yes.
find ourselves all over again and we fall in love with ourselves all over again. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
ma'am.
much, Anisha. And I just want to say this. I tuned myself out of stay safe and I added stay safe and happy, because then
Oh,
it's a constant reminder to be happy and find that happiness within. So stay safe,
great.
stay happy, and find your inner freedom. Thank you so much,
Thank
Anisha.
you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Take care, ma'am.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. I think those words were truly, truly needed in today's time and age, especially when we are stuck with this whole situation for a longer duration of time than we had actually planned for or had foreseen in the beginning, right? And it's getting worse day by day. But I think this is how we got to adjust to the new normal, not just physically, but emotionally as well. And as ma'am said, it's not just about staying safe anymore, it's also about staying happy, right? So, on that note, let us move on to what we have in store for you guys next. Well, next up, we have our very beloved Golpo Didi back with us again with a bang. We have Priyanka Chatterjee from Wild Strawberry with us. And I'm not going to give any more spoilers about what she has in store for us today. Because if I do that, you guys are not going to be as excited as you actually are going to be with what she has come up with this time. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut and I'm going to let you viewers do have the fun of seeing what Priyanka has in store for us. Can we have the video, please?
Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, Adab and Namaste. A very warm welcome from Golpodidi Priyanka Chatterjee and Wild Strawberry. I'm elated to present our True Talk series, Untalk, Unleash the Untold. As we have heard from Maya Angelou, there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. The same inspires our personal narrative circle as well as our True Talk series, Untalk, Unleash the Untold, where life is a story that's told one day at a time. We all start from a story. We all become stories in the end. And throughout our lives, we all keep telling stories to each other, and many times only to our own selves. But if not spoken out, these stories can become the wildest thing of all. The stories, they can remain tucked away, waiting for later for too long. And one day, eventually, they can chase one, they can hunt one, and they can know holes inside one's body and inside one's mind until those stories are let out. Those are the stories that reveal our true self, one's life, one's beliefs, one's fears. For the same reason, we thought of inviting guests from all over the world who can share a little piece of them with us through a little story. And today, our guest comes all the way from Toronto, Canada, to share one little journey, one little piece of her with us. Sage Turtle. Sage Turtle is a professional storyteller who tells stories all over the world and most recently in India. Her stories have been featured on NPR and CBC Radio. She is a Moth Story Slam winner. Yes, friends, you heard it right, Moth, which has almost now become a movement in US and Canada. She's a Moth Story Slam winner. And she has also appeared on PBS TV show Stories from the Stage. She teaches the art of storytelling in schools, to individuals, and in corporate settings. It gives me immense pleasure to invite Sage Turtle.
Thank you so much. I can see your faces, so I'm going to ask you if you were online in 2015, go ahead and wave your hands around. 2015. If you were online in 2008, wave your hands around. If you were online in 1991, wave your hands around. Just me. So it's 1991, and I am 19 years old, and I am stepping into my very first chat room. I cannot wait. I have been dreaming of this moment since the day I was 9 years old and I saw Star Trek original series, and Spock was sent to a planet. He was a brain, and everybody else was a brain, and what you looked like didn't matter at all. I'm going to walk into this room and my whole life is going to be better. So I walk into the room. Now, in 1991, the internet is just a black monitor with a blinking white cursor. It's text. There is no audio. There is no video. There aren't even any images. It's simply text. And you are limited by your imagination. So I stand there in the chat room and I watch the people talking. And it's very clear, very fast where I am. And my heart sinks. Because this is exactly the same conversation that people had at my high school, specifically the guys who like to stand in the parking lot with Led Zeppelin t-shirts and cigarettes behind their ear. And the people in this chat room are saying things like, Iron Maiden really understands my soul. And another guy is like, 666, the number of the beast. I love that lyric so much. And I'm like, I like jazz, and nobody cares. They keep on talking. One woman, her name is Sexy Kitten 54. Like, we don't even have 54 people on the internet yet. Calm down. She's saying, heavy metal is like what I listen to find my true dark self. And I'm standing there and I finally just blurt out the only thing I can think of to say, which is, who here has heard of Free to Be You and Me? Like, this is the room that's going to be like, oh, feminist children's album from the 70s, me. But one guy actually does. He actually does remember Free to Be You and Me. But I don't care. I am over it. I am done with this room. I'm going to go to the next room. In the next room, they're going to be discussing physics and world politics and the way that Shakespeare really brought Hamlet to the masses. And I walk in and I watch and my heart sinks. I know where I am now. This room, if it were real, would have a lot of tatami mats on the floor. It would have a lot of teenage boys, and they would all be in white robes with black belts, because this is the conversation these kids are having. I kick you. I kick you back. I kick you harder. I kick you to the moon. On the moon, I grow more legs so I can kick you. I'm like, I like jazz, but nobody cares. And then that boy, the one who remembered Free Be You and Me, he follows me in. And he says, hey, what story did you like best on Free to Be You and Me? I really loved William's doll. And I'm trying to say that I loved Atalanta and the way that she outsmarted everybody and got exactly what she wanted, even though she was a princess at medieval times and had 0 rights. I'm trying to say this, but this kid has taken the words, I kick you, and pasted them in 47,000 times. Now, in 1991, there is no scrolling back. Once the words have gone off your screen, that's it. They are gone forever. And so the boy says, do you want to go talk in a private room? And I say yes. And for the younger ones among you, I'm not talking about a sex dungeon private room. I'm talking about the kind of private room that my grandmother could have happily sat next to me during the entire conversation and been perfectly content with everything I said and everything the boy said. We start talking at midnight, and he is so smart. He is so funny and adventurous. What he wants to do is learn to speak Hindi so that he can go to India and be with the people there and talk to the people who live there instead of talking to Australians, because like you could go to Australia and talk to Australians. We talk and talk. finally, I look out the window and the sun is coming up, and I say, I really have to go to sleep. And he says, I wish you lived down the street instead of 1,000 miles away. I wish we could go get coffee. And I say, I wish that too. I go to sleep, and by the time I wake up, he's written me an email message. And soon we're exchanging email messages, and then we talk on the phone. And after 2 months, we decide to exchange photographs. So first thing that I have to do is go buy film for my camera. And then I have the dorm mates on my university dorm floor take photos of me. And then I have to take the film to Walmart and get it developed. That's like another 2 weeks. And then once I get the film back, I have to go to the post office and send it special because, you know, it's a special envelope. And once I have sent it, it only takes a month from the day we decide to exchange pictures to the day we get to see each other. And I like what he looks like and he looks like what I look like. So we decide to meet in person. Now, the girls on my dorm floor, it's 1991. They have never heard of the internet. So when I explained to them what I'm going to do, their response is, Sage, he is definitely a serial killer. And another girl is like, don't go to the basement with him. Like, I saw it on Unsolved Mysteries. Don't go to the basement with him. But I am 19, and I know everything. And so I get on an airplane with 50 whole dollars in my pocket, and I fly to the other side of the country. And at the airport, I see him walking towards me. And it's like we have been having a conversation our whole lives, and we get to take it up again. He drives me to his house, and he is a really, really safe driver. And I love that. He's so safe. He's so confident. At one point, he picks up my hand and he kisses the back of my hand, and there's a thrill that runs through my whole body. We have 4 days together. And he is exactly the guy who he was online and on the phone. He cooks for me every single night. He's smart. He's funny. He never asks me to go to the basement because, like, I am watching out for going to the basement. And on our very last night, we are dancing to Depeche Mode's Somebody. And he looks down and he says, you should stay. And I say, oh, like, just call up my dorm mates and be like, I'm never coming back. And he says, yeah. And I say, really? Yeah, he says. And I say, okay. So the next morning, I call up my dorm mates and I say, send my stuff, I'm never coming back. And they're like, we knew he was a serial killer. And if you're wondering how this story ends, well, you'd have to come to my house and go into my living room and ask my husband, because he's still here. Thank you so much.
Wow, Sage. What an inspirational story. The story of anxiety and hope and trust, taking that leap of faith even when you were such at tender age, only 19 years. Wow, Sage. Thank you so much for your gift of your personal narrative. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in with your open eyes, open ears, open minds, and most importantly, open hearts. We would soon meet for sure with another series of True Talk, Untalk, Unleash the Untold. Till then, Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, Adab, and Namaste.
Now you guys know why I didn't choose to do the introduction. Because when Priyanka is there to introduce, and when we have such an amazing storyteller, anything that I would have said would have just destroyed the entire aura that these people would create for you guys. Stories, such an integral part of our lives. Stories that we have grown up with, stories that we have listened to while growing up. Sometimes stories they serve the purpose of encapsulating us into an imaginary world that we like to believe exists. Sometimes stories act like an escapade from all that is wrong and sad in our current life. And sometimes stories act as a reflection to the real world that we are not exposed to. Stories serve so many different purposes at so many different stages of our lives. That's the power of story, and that's the beauty of storytelling. Everything that we are exposed to is a story of someone, somewhere, and something. Sometimes we do not even realize that they are stories. And sometimes we realize that they are stories, but those stories have the power to change our lives for the better. And that is exactly what we have in store next. Stories that have the power to change our lives, to expose us to the kind of reality that inspires us, to expose us to the kind of a person that would inspire us beyond what we are exposed to in our daily lives. Sagarika. That's the story I'm talking about. This next film that we have is conceptualized and directed by Aditi. It talks about Maya, a girl in 1978 who, in one winter morning, decided to start off on a journey in a small boat on the sea towards Sri Lanka with two different rowers. Sounds almost like the Disney adventure Moana to me, to you as well, right? But this story is even more fun, filled with a lot more adventures and filled with a lot more things to talk about. A lady who started off on a journey on the sea came back and started off with a magazine by the name Malini, meant for the woman. Such a revolutionary story of a revolutionary woman. And this story is nothing short of a Disney adventure. Please let us have Sagarika, the movie.
নমস্কার, আমি মায়া সিদ্ধান্ত। আজ স্বাধীনতা দিবস। সারা ভারতবর্ষ মেতে উঠেছে স্বাধীনতার আনন্দে, কিন্তু এই আনন্দের মাঝেও ছোট একটু খামতি, যে সকলে বাইরে বেরিয়ে আনন্দ করতে পারছে না করোনা পরিস্থিতির জন্য। তাই সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ার মাধ্যমে পরস্পরকে অভিনন্দন জানানো, গান শোনানো, কবিতা আবৃত্তি, নাটক, শ্রুতি নাটক বা গল্প শোনা এসবের আয়োজন হয়েছে। আমার বিষয়টা হচ্ছে ভয়হীন স্বাধীনতার বিষয়। এই ভয়হীন স্বাধীনতা বলতে গেলে একটু পিছনে ফিরতে হবে। আমি আমার তরুণী অবস্থায় 1978 সালে কলকাতা থেকে শ্রীলঙ্কা বঙ্গোপসাগর পেয়ে একটি ছোট পাতলা ডিঙি নৌকো নিয়ে সমুদ্র অভিযানে বেরিয়েছিলাম। আমার সঙ্গে ছিলেন দুজন পুরুষ অভিযাত্রী, একজন শ্রী জ্যোতির্ময় দত্ত, একজন শ্রী আজিজুর রহমান। এই যে দুজন অসমবয়সী পুরুষ মানুষ এবং একটি বালিকা, এই তিনজনের দীর্ঘ সমুদ্র যাত্রা যে করা হলো, সেই যে করার পেছনের ইতিহাস, সেটা হচ্ছে প্রথম আমার বাবা মার আমার প্রতি বিশ্বাস এবং আমাকে স্বাধীন চেতা করে গড়ে তোলার মানসিকতা। তারা যদি সেই দিন আমাকে এই স্বাধীনতা না দিতেন, তাহলে একটি কলেজ পড়ুয়া মেয়ে আমি একটা পালতোলার ডিঙি নৌকো করে মৃত্যুর সঙ্গে লড়াই করতে করতে দীর্ঘ সমুদ্র অভিযানে যাচ্ছি, এবং আমার সঙ্গে সেই ছোট্ট মাত্র 13 হাত একটি নৌকো, পালতোলা, হাল এবং দুটি দাঁড়, এর সাহায্যে এগিয়ে চলা। এবং সেখানে এই যে আমি আবার বলছি দুজন পুরুষ অভিযাত্রী, তাতে করে দুটো পরিচয় পাওয়া যাচ্ছে যে আমি মনের দিক থেকে নিজেকে কতটাই প্রসারিত করতে পেরেছিলাম ওইটুকু বয়সে, যে আমার কাছে কোনো দ্বিধা, কোনো দ্বন্দ্ব কাজ করেনি। বাবা মার তো করেই, তারা আমাকে অগাধ স্বাধীনতা দিয়েছিলেন এবং বলেছিলেন এই সমুদ্র অভিযানের কাজটি যদি কেউ করতে পারে তাহলে আমার মেয়ে পারবে। এই তাদের যে আমার মেয়ে পারবে এই বিশ্বাসটুকু তাদের জন্মেছিল, কারণ খুব ছোট্টবেলা থেকে আমি খুব ডানপিটে ছিলাম, খুব লড়াকু ছিলাম, খুব মারপিট করতে পারতাম, ছেলেদের সঙ্গে পাল্লা দিয়ে খেলাধুলো করতাম, সাঁতার কাটতাম। বাবা মার ভরসা ছিল আমার। এই সমুদ্র অভিযাত্রাটা শুরু হয়েছিল কলকাতার ম্যান অফ ওয়ার জেটি থেকে। এই প্রজন্ম তো এই গল্পটা শোনেনি, যদিও মনোলেখনার ডায়েরিতে, মানে নৌকোয় বসে বঙ্গলিপির খাতায় যা যা ঘটছে, যদি সুযোগ পেয়েছিলাম কিছু লিখে রেখেছিলাম। পরবর্তীকালে সেটা মণিমেখলার ডায়েরি নামে পুস্তক আকারে প্রকাশ পায়। রাজ্যপাল সেটা প্রকাশ করেছিলেন গভর্নর হাউস থেকে। তো সেই কাহিনী অত্যন্তই আকর্ষণীয় দুটো কারণে। একটা হচ্ছে অত্যন্ত ভয়ের, যে কোনো মুহূর্তে নৌকো উল্টে যেতে পারে, পালতোলা ছোট্ট নৌকোটি। আর দ্বিতীয়ত হচ্ছে অত্যন্ত মানে আকর্ষণীয় এই জন্য যে এটা তো একটা ইতিহাস। আর কোনো মেয়ে এই 41 বছরে, 1978 আর 2020, 41 বছর পেরিয়ে গেছে, কোনো মেয়ে কিন্তু সমুদ্র অভিযান করেনি ভারতবর্ষ থেকে। আমি করেছিলাম, করতে পেরেছিলাম এবং বেঁচে ফিরে এসেছি। উত্তাল সমুদ্রে এই যে এখন হলো, সদ্য যে সাইক্লোন হলো, আমরা কিভাবে নিজেদেরকে বাঁচাবো, এরকম আমফান সমুদ্রে তখন অনেকগুলো পেয়েছি, আমফানের মতো সাইক্লোন। সেই সাইক্লোনে নৌকো উথাল পাতাল হয়েছে, জলে ডুবেছে, উঠেছে, ভেসেছে, পাল ছিঁড়ে হাল ভেঙে নৌকো চলে গেছে চট্টগ্রামে। কি করে বুঝেছি? সমুদ্র অভিযানে যাত্রার দিনে একটি রেডিও কোম্পানি একটি ছোট্ট রেডিও আমার হাতে দিয়ে বলেছিল, তোমার যখন গান শুনতে ইচ্ছে করবে, গান শুনো, আবহাওয়া বার্তা এখান থেকে পেও। ওই রেডিও চট্টগ্রাম বলছিল যে আমরা এখন চট্টগ্রামে রয়েছি। তার মানে নৌকো এক পথ থেকে তার গতি চেঞ্জ করে অন্যদিকে চলে যাচ্ছিল। কি বলবো, এটা গল্পের মতো করে বলতে গেলে তো মনে হবে যে বিশাল কাহিনী। 3 মাস সমুদ্রে ছিলাম। এটুকু শুধু বলছি, সেই যে ভেসে চলে যাওয়া নৌকো, আবার সেই পাল মোটা গুঁইশ মুচ দিয়ে সেলাই করে কোনো রকমে টানানোর চেষ্টা, আবার দাঁতটাকে সারানোর চেষ্টা, এগুলো কোথায় হয়েছে জানো? এগুলো হয়েছে বড় বড় পোর্টে, পারাদ্বীপ, বিশাখাপত্তনম, কাকিনাডা, এইসব বড় বড় পোর্টে গিয়ে ওই নৌকোটাকে রিপেয়ার করতে হয়েছে। 4-5 দিন সময় লেগেছে। তখন কত ভিড়, কত লোক আমাদের সঙ্গে দেখা করতে এসেছে, আমাদের অভিনন্দন জানিয়েছে। এগুলো তো অন্য আনন্দ, খুবই আনন্দ। আমার খুব ভালো লাগছিল যে অল্প বয়সে কত লোক দেখছি, কত জল দেখছি, কত জাহাজ দেখছি। কোনো জাহাজ থেকে দড়ি ঝুলিয়ে দিয়ে বলছে যে উঠে আসুন আমাদের জাহাজে, 1 কাপ কফি খেয়ে যান। আর আমরা মনে করছি যে আমরা যদি ওদের আতিথেয়তা গ্রহণ না করি তাহলে তো ঠিক হবে না, আমরা তো এখন নৌপথযাত্রী। তাই সেই ঝুলিয়ে দেওয়া 6 তলা সমান জাহাজ থেকে যে দড়ি, সেই দড়ি বেয়ে বেয়ে জাহাজে ওঠা আর তলায় মণিমেখলা 13 হাত নৌকোটি দুলছে, আর সেই জাহাজের ওপরে উঠে তাদের উষ্ণ আতিথেয়তা গ্রহণ করা, তাদের সঙ্গে চা বিস্কুট খাওয়া, এগুলো সব স্মৃতি, কিন্তু সত্য ঘটনা। আবার সত্য ঘটনা, নৌকায় তো বলেছি যে পাল ছিল, লাল সাদা ডোরা কাটা পাল, সেই পালের উল্টো দিকে যে ছায়া পড়ছে, আমরা লক্ষ্য করছি যে সেগুলো হচ্ছে হাঙর। হাঙরগুলো সেই ছায়ার পেছনে পেছনে, ছায়ার সঙ্গে সঙ্গে নৌকোর পিছন পিছন যাচ্ছে। 3 ফুট যেটা আমাদের খেয়ে থাকতে হচ্ছিল, খুব খিদে পেলে সেই 3 ফুটটা খেয়ে যখন জলে ফেলছিলাম, তখন সেই 3 ফুটটা খুব করে খেয়ে ফেলছিল হাঙর, কোনো একটা হাঙর। আর অবাক বিষয় ভাবছিলাম, ওই টিনটা খেয়ে হাঙর হজম করতে পারবে তো? আমি তখন এতই অনভিজ্ঞ ছিলাম যে হাঙর যে সমুদ্রের একটা বিশাল একটা ভয়ঙ্কর প্রাণী, মানুষের জীবন পর্যন্ত তারা নিয়ে নিতে পারে, 1 সেকেন্ডে গিলে খেয়ে নিতে পারে, জানতাম না। অথচ যখন নাকি ডলফিনস দেখছি, বড় বড় ডলফিনস গুলো তো হাতির মতো, একটা এলাকাতে জানো শুধু ডলফিনস দেখছি, আর ভাবছি এ বাবা, এই ডলফিনস তো নৌকো উল্টে দেবে। তখন জ্যোতির্ময় দত্ত, যিনি নাকি আমাদের দলপতি হিসাবে ছিলেন, তাকে বলছি যে জ্যোতিদা, এই এত বড় বড় যে ডলফিনস, সে তো এক্ষুনি নৌকোটা উল্টে দেবে একটা দুটো মেরে। উনি বলেছিলেন, ডলফিনস তো মানুষের বন্ধু, ওরা কোনো ক্ষতি করবে না। ক্ষতি করতে পারতো ওই হাঙরগুলো, কিন্তু কিছু করেনি। ওরা ভেবেছে নৌকোটাকে আর একটা প্রাণী। আমরা ডাকাতদের হাতে করলাম চিরকাল। ওরা দেখলো যে একটি নৌকো মানে উল্টো স্রোতে একেবারে চিল্কার বালিয়াড়িতে এসে ধাক্কা খাচ্ছে। ওদের হাতে ছিল বড় বড় বল্লম, বড় বড় টর্চ, আর আমরা নৌকোটা নিয়ে উথাল পাথাল অবস্থা এক কোনো জলে নেমে দাঁড়িয়েছি, কারণ নৌকোটা মাটিতে যদি বসে যায় আর কোনোদিন তুলতে পারবো না আমাদের 3 জনের মিলিত শক্তিতে। তাই নৌকোটা ধরে দাঁড়িয়ে আছি, দুহাত বেয়ে রক্ত পড়ছে, আর সাপ আর কাঁকড়া বেয়ে বেয়ে উঠছে শরীরে। আর সেই সময় মুখে টর্চের আলো, এবং ওদের মুখে আওয়াজ হাড়ে লেগে গেল। সে সময় আমি আপ্রাণ চিৎকার করে বলেছিলাম, ভাইয়া মত মারো। ওই ভাষা তারা বুঝবে কিনা আমি তাও জানি না, তাও জানতাম না। কিন্তু সে ডাকাত দলরা বলল, জেনা না হ্যাঁ মত মারো। ওরা সেই মুহূর্তে নৌকোটাকে কিছু দড়ি আর কিছু বাঁশ কোথা থেকে নিয়ে এসে বেঁধে দিল সেই বালিয়াড়িতে, আর পাঁজা করা করে আক্ষরিক অর্থে ডাঙায় নিয়ে বালির উপর শুইয়ে দিল। কারণ 3-4 ঘন্টায় সেই যে নৌকোটার সঙ্গে লড়াই করছিলাম, তখন প্রায় মৃতপ্রায় অবস্থা। ওরা বালিয়াড়িতে শুইয়ে দিয়ে বাড়ি থেকে বালতি করে পান্তা ভাত নিয়ে এসে, শুকনো মাছ নিয়ে এসে জ্বালিয়ে আমাদের যখন খাওয়ালো টিনের থালায়, আমাদের মনে হলো অমৃত। এই যে ডাকাত, ওরা বললো আমরা তো ডাকাতি করতেই এসেছিলাম, কিন্তু এই যে মেয়েটাকে দেখলাম, ওদের ভাষায় বললো, কিছু কিছু বুঝতে পারলাম, এই মেয়েটার মতো একটা মেয়েকে না তার বিয়ের পরে তাদের বাড়িতে পুড়িয়ে মেরে দিয়েছে, সেটা আমার বোন। তো এইটা থেকে এই মেয়েটাকে আমার বোন মনে হলো রাতের অন্ধকারে, তাই মারতে পারলাম না। তো এরকম সব অভিজ্ঞতা, বিপুল অভিজ্ঞতা, যা মণিমেখলার ডায়েরিতে আমি লিপিবদ্ধ করেছিলাম। এটা দেশ পাবলিকেশন থেকে বেরিয়েছিল, এবং যা কিছু দেখেছিলাম, যা কিছু ঘটেছে, যত আনন্দ পেয়েছি, যত দুঃখ না কষ্ট, শারীরিক কষ্ট, সেগুলো লিপিবদ্ধ করেছিলাম। তো আমার এই গল্প বলাটা আজকের এই স্বাধীনতার দিনে আমার কাছে মনে হয় এই আমার স্বাধীনতা।
To stories like this that celebrate freedom and its true essence, a salute. To stories like this that move us and keep us stunned beyond words with the possibility of it, a salute. To stories like this that make us believe in the power of women, a salute. A salute on behalf of all the people in URL, because stories like this move us, stories like this inspire us, and stories like this make us believe in what's bigger and better than what exists in front of our eyes. Now, moving on to the next thing that we have in store for all of us is something that I need to take a few minutes to talk about. Among this entire situation, we all know this is entire URL 2020 started off amidst this pandemic, COVID 19, that has taken the whole world by storm. The situation keeps getting worse. For some, it keeps getting better. It's all about how you decide to see the glass, half empty or half full. The problem is not with the fact that what you choose to see. The problem sometimes is with the fact that how people are made to see the glass. Sometimes it's not our own willingful choices. Sometimes it's the choice that the media makes. It's the choice that the people who like to spread rumors make. And this choice feeds on the soul and the mind of the people who get destructive with all these news. And that is why the students of NSHM, under the mentorship of Firoz Muhammad, have come up with a CSR NSHM COVID 19 campaign that is targeted to induce positivity, mitigate stigma surrounding COVID, and the fear surrounding COVID 19. Of course, it's a pandemic. Of course, it's a once in a century sort of an event. Of course, it's not welcome into our lives. And of course, it is destructive. But what is even more destructive is the fact that we people have decided not to see beyond what is presented to us by people who want to hamper our growth, not just physically, but emotionally. And that is what this entire campaign is all about. Let us take a look at what this campaign is truly targeting to do.
ए शहीद मुल्क व मिल्लत, मैं तेरे ऊपर निसार। अब तेरी हिम्मत का चर्चा गैर की महफिल में है। वक्त आने पर बता देंगे तुझे ए आसमान, हम अभी से क्या बताएं क्या हमारे दिल में है। सरफरोशी की तमन्ना अब हमारे दिल में है, देखना है जोर कितना बाजुए कातिल में है। 73 years back, we fought for our independence and we fought for our freedom. Today we are fighting another battle. We are fighting against COVID-19 pandemic. Let's fight it out together. Myths on COVID-19 are plenty, more than the virus itself. Be it on vaccines, masks, pulse oximeters, plasma therapy, or immune boosters are doing rounds in social media as infodemic. NSHM COVID-19 CSR campaign is a student-driven, humble effort.
Podcasts, lockdown stories,
Fiction and non-fiction, docudramas, public service advertisements,
social media banner, lockdown stories, audio visuals,
comic strips, memes, blogs, public service advertisements, music videos.
Our campaign will try to induce positivity, to fight fear, to mitigate stigma, to mitigate myths, misinformation, and sensitize people. Address some of these critical issues with the help of medical, stress management, and media experts. If you love your country, besides physical distancing, wear mask. Come, join us in our humble initiative. Stay positive, share smiles.
Fills me with immense pride and joy to see how amazing students of NSHM truly are amidst this whole quarantine situation. They serve, they entertain, and they are productive beyond words. And since it's just a virtual world, I'm going to be here and applaud for them for the next half an hour sitting here to compensate for the fact that I cannot be near them and give them a tight hug for all of the amazing work they keep on doing on a daily basis during this quarantine. What an amazing initiative and what an amazing thought behind it. Truly needed, truly required, and truly necessary during this time and age. Because as we move towards a better future, as we move towards a state of new normal, what we really need to leave behind is that our psychology and our thinking that's getting narrower day by day. Definitely not needed in the new normal that we are looking forward to. So while you step towards a world that's extremely new and extremely wonderful to look forward to, please remember to leave behind those thoughts of yours that are toxic, not just for your own health, but for the people surrounding you. Looking forward now that we have had such inspiring stories that we could hear, listen, view, such amazing initiative that we can all be gladly be a part of. I think it's also now time to kickstart off with some entertainment, right? Because as I say, URL 2020 is not just about information, it's about infotainment. So, since now we are done with the information part of it, let's just kickstart the entertainment aspect of it. Because I know that when you guys are here, you just are not looking for all things informative, you are also looking for all things entertainment. And to start off with the entertainment aspect of it, we are going to have Angan. And what is exactly Angan? Well, we have with us Reena Mitra, who is going to exactly give us a brief idea about what we have in store for you guys next. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, how are you, Anisha?
I'm good. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. I'm good.
First of all, ma'am,
Thank you.
happy Independence Day.
Thank you. Same to you, and same to all our viewers out there who are watching us today.
Thank you,
And
ma'am. So, ma'am, we started off URL Freedom and we had a lot to think about. We had a lot of information and we are very blessed to even know the stories of some amazing people that we came to know. But now that we are talking about Angan, people are a little bit clueless about how is Angan going to cater to the entertainment aspect of URL. So, ma'am, why don't you give us an idea about what Angan is basically all about?
all right, so I'll try my best to introduce you this Center of Performing Arts. So, birth in the Angan, or cradle of the mind, the idea of freedom encompasses as singular an expression as a powerful brushstroke, a searing note, a nuanced posture, a revolutionary slogan, to the soulful exploration of one's own inward journey, of choices made, of measures undertaken. NSHM Angan, the Center of Creative and Performing Arts, is one such platform where this idea of creative freedom is explored, it's nurtured, and then showcased. So today, on the occasion of the nation's Independence Day, we have a lineup of student performances, and I'm sure you will enjoy all of them. Thank you. Enjoy the evening. Can we have the first
Thank you.
performance, please? Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Anisha.
much, ma'am, for introducing us
Thank
about
you.
what Angan truly is. And I hope
Thank
you
you.
stay safe and take care.
You
And,
too. Thank you.
without further ado, I'm going to kickstart Angan's performances with our first performance for today. That is by Daipayan Ghosh. And he's from BHM. And he's going to sing a Bhati Ali song, and it's a Bangla Lokgeet, and this is going to transfer us directly from our homes into the fisherman boats. Now, I am bit curious, but more than curious, I'm excited about listening to this performance. So I'm going to tell to start off with our first performance for today.
এবার তোর মরা গাঙে বান এসেছে, জয় মা বলে ভাষা তোরি। এবার তোর মরা গাঙে বান এসেছে, জয় মা বলে ভাষা তোরি। ওরে রে ওরে মাঝি, কোথায় মাঝি প্রাণপণে ভাই ডাকতে আজি। ওরে রে ওরে মাঝি, কোথায় মাঝি প্রাণপণে ভাই ডাকতে আজি। তোরা সবাই মিলে বৈঠানে রে, সবাই মিলে বৈঠানে রে, খুলে ফেল সব দরা দড়ি। এবার তোর মরা গানে মান এসেছে, জয় মা বলে ভাষা তোরি। বাল্য দেনা ও ভাই করলি নে কেউ বেচা কেনা, হাতে নাই রে করা করি। বাল্য দেনা ও ভাই করলি নে কেউ বেচা কেনা, হাতে নাই রে করা করি। খাটে বাধা দিন গেল রে, মুখ দেখাবি কেমন করে। খাটে বাধা দিন গেল রে, মুখ দেখাবি কেমন করে। ওরে দে খুলে দে পাল তুলে দে, দে খুলে দে পাল তুলে দে, যা হয় হবে বাঁচি মরি। এবার তোর মরা গানে মান এসেছে, জয় মা বলে ভাষা তোরি। এবার তোর মরা গানে মান এসেছে, জয় মা বলে ভাষা তোরি।
The soul is free. It is multifaceted. It meanders through several twists and turns of life and yet is able to hold its own, unruffled in the face of adversities. The body is frail and fragile. It is capable of decay and death. The soul is transcendental, immortal. It can never truly be possessed. The body is a mere container. The river water shall one day change courses, vaporize and return as rain. The soul, it shall never cease to wane. Are we solely the soul? Has it been ours ever to begin with? Or is it nomadic, searching for its next home? After that amazing performance, next up we have Adrija De, who is going to perform a Kathak performance. And I do not think words needs to express how thrilling that would be to watch. Let's have the second performance.
I breathe. I breathe. I breathe. I breathe. I rise. I create. I breathe. I rise. I breathe. I create. I rise. I fall. I create. I breathe. I rise. I stop. I fall. I breathe. I create. I fall. I stop. I breathe. I breathe. I stop. I fall. I live. I breathe. I die. I stop. I live. I breathe. I die.
প্রাণ সে কারোর নয়, প্রাণ শুধু প্রাণের। কখনো সে আমার কাছে আছে, আবার তাই তোমার কাছে চলে যায়। প্রাণ মুক্ত, শুধুই মুক্ত।
Started off with a Bangla Lokgiti that took us directly to the fisherman boat. Then we moved on to a Kathak performance that gracefully ignited our souls. Next up, we have a poem by Shomo Chakraborty, a poem that talks about the frontline workers who are working for us in this pandemic. How can we not celebrate the people who are choosing to serve us and to cater to our freedom by sacrificing their very own freedom? That's the beauty of brotherhood. That's the beauty of our motherland. And that's the beauty of real freedom. Let's have our third performance.
নমস্কার, আমি সৌম্য। আর এই মুহূর্তে দীপ্তাক্ষীর লেখা একটা কবিতা, যার মেন পটভূমি আমাদের বর্তমান সমাজ, বর্তমান পরিস্থিতি, সেই কবিতাটি আমি আপনাদের সামনে উপস্থাপন করব। আর সব থেকে যেটা বড় কথা, ভুল ত্রুটি মার্জনীয়। সবটা কেমন নতুন লাগে। শহর ছিল ব্যস্ততার, রোমাঞ্চের, ছুটে চলা আর হার জেতার। ছিলে তুমি, ছিলাম আমি। এই হুড়োহুড়িতে নিজেকে হারিয়ে এতটা শান্ত হয়নি তখনও চারপাশ। গাড়ি ঘোড়ার শব্দগুলো কানটাকে বড্ড জ্বালায়। দিন শেষে এক ভার গরম চা ছিল, বন্ধুদের ঠেক ছিল। মন কেমন করলেও সেসব সারানোর ওষুধ ছিল। কি জানি কি অচিন রোগ মানুষের শরীর মনে ঢুকে গেল। ব্যস্ততা ছুটি নিয়েছে অজানা কালের জন্য। অনেকটা সময় বাড়ি বসে তারা গোনার জন্য। হাতে একটা যন্ত্র আছে, প্রিয় মানুষদের খোঁজ খবর আছে, শুধু স্পর্শ নেই। তাদের কাছ থেকে দেখা নেই, তাদের অনুভব করাটা নেই। হ্যাঁ, বিকেল হলে হয়তো মন খারাপ আছে, অনেক কিছুর অনুপস্থিতি আছে, তবে তার মধ্যেও কোথাও একটা বেঁচে থাকার ইচ্ছা আছে। নতুন সকাল, নতুন করে অনুভবের স্বপ্ন আছে। দুর্যোগ কাটানোর সব রকম চেষ্টা আছে। আজ হয়তো এক কাপ চায়ে তুফান উঠছে না, কালকে উঠবে। আজ হয়তো সবান্ধবে ভিক্টোরিয়া কিংবা ময়দান হুল্লোড় নেই, কাল শোরগোল পড়ে যাবে। আজ আমরা গুমড়ে আছি, কালকে নতুন ভোর দেখব বলে। আজ আমরা একটু দূরে আছি, কালকে প্রাণ ভরে অনুভব করব বলে। মনোলগ তো থাকবেই, তাকে হারিয়ে হট্টগোলটাও করতে হবে। নমস্কার।
After that beautiful recitation, it's raining outside, and how can we not take a few minutes to celebrate monsoon? To celebrate the freedom that exists when we are dancing out and about in the rain. Next up, we have a beautiful song by Indira Saha from BHM, which will transport us to the times when we could actually enjoy the rains, free of the fear of the COVID, free of the fear of the isolation, into the rain, into the monsoon, drenched and wet. Next up, let's have our fourth performance for today.
सावन में तो जाए पिहरवा, सावन में तो जाए पिहरवा, मन मेरा घबराए, मन मेरा घबराए, ऐसो गए परदेस पिया तुम, चैन हमें नहीं आए, चैन हमें नहीं आए, मोरा सैया मुझसे बोलना, मोरा सैया मुझसे बोलना।
After that song, lastly, we have our fifth performance by Trisha Saha from MHA, who is going to dance as if there is no tomorrow, who is going to dance as if we truly are not confined by the four walls around us, who is going to dance on behalf of all of us, who is going to dance to represent us all, being free, being out, enjoying the world beyond our homes. Let us have our fifth performance for today.
छलकाई मधुशाला मेरा चैन रैन अपने साथ ले गया नैनों वाले थे नैनों वाले थे नैनों वाले थे तेरा मन का प्याला छलकाई मधुशाला मेरा चैन रैन अपने साथ ले गया
Started off with a Lok Giti, moved on to a Kathak performance. Then there was a beautiful poetic recitation. Then there was a song, and then there was a dance. Angan truly set the standard for a complete package of entertainment. Such an amazing start to what we have in store for you guys with our entertainment. Now, after that wholesome package of entertainment, we are going to move on to our first star of the evening. We have with us our first live performance for today. And for that, let us call upon Ankita Bose. Ankita Bose, who is here with us today for URL Freedom with her Freedom performance, Breaking Chains. Welcome, Ankita. Ankita, you are on mute. Hello. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Hi, Anisha. Thank you.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing good, and it's like I'm awesome today. Right now, I'm a part of this infotainment channel from my college, and I'm super awesome. How are you?
I'm good, and I am even more happier than you are because it gives me immense pleasure to have the students of NSHM be a part of URL family. So, welcome to the family, Ankita. And now that you're part
Thank
of
you so much.
URL, I think it's the best thing to do, as I always say, that I'm going to let you take over and start off with your performance before I intervene again and have a small chat with you very soon.
Sure, definitely. Thank you so much. For starting, I would like to first thank Feroz sir for having me here, for giving me this opportunity, and the complete URL team who are all my juniors. And it's so good to, I mean, it's really nostalgic that I'm performing, in my college's channel. So it's like an immense pleasure, and I'm very happy that I'm doing this. I'm very glad. So I just won't take much time and go to my performance. So, like Anisha said, I would be performing for Breaking the Chains. Like, if we talk about freedom and its bilateral ways, it's always like freedom in other ways. So, next up will be the song, a folk bowl song, which I will be performing. And you all are very familiar with it, and it's like you can relate to it word by word, that it's talking about a metaphorical bird like khachar bhitor ochin pakhi, that if like Lalan Fakir's song, he said that if he could unleash he couldn't unleash this bird, the soul inside with the mind's chain, and if he could, he would have, but it's vagabond, right? So we all know we cannot tame that. But again, this is a song like where our soul gets wandering and all, so this would relate to that. So I'll start it. तारे ধরতে পারলে মনোবেরি তারে ধরতে পারলে মনোবেরি আমি দিতাম পাখির পায় কেমনে আসে যায় খাঁচার ভিতর অচিন পাখি কেমনে আসে যায় খাঁচার ভিতর অচিন পাখি কেমনে আসে যায় তারে ধরতে পারলে মনোবেরি ধরতে পারলে মনোবেরি দিতাম পাখির পায় কেমনে আসে যায় খাঁচার ভিতর অচিন পাখি কেমনে আসে যায় খাঁচার ভিতর অচিন পাখি কেমনে আসে যায় কুঠুরি নয় দরজাটা মধ্যে মধ্যে ঝরকা কাটা কুঠুরি নয় দরজাটা মধ্যে মধ্যে ঝরকা কাটা তার উপরে সদর কোঠা তার উপরে সদর কোঠা আয়না মহলটা কেমনে আসে যায় খাঁচার ভিতর অচিন পাখি কেমনে আসে যায় খাঁচার ভিতর অচিন পাখি কেমনে আসে যায়
Ankita, your performance was mind blowing, and it was so mind blowing that I couldn't stop myself from intervening you. And the first thing that I want to ask you is, Ankita, what's your story? How did you end up falling in love with music? Because you falling in love with music and your relationship with music is a blessing to viewers like us. So, why don't you tell me about your journey, about
Thank
how
you.
you fell in love with music?
I am really flattered. Thank you. And I got some beautiful comments as well. Thank you so much. So it all started like I learned singing from like 4 years of my age, and then I just completed the formal junior diploma at the age of 16. And then it was like a complete pause. After that, when you will be glad and excited to know as well that I started this first folk performance in Why Step Up. That's the NSHM, farewell that we had for our seniors in 2018. So we were doing a lot of stuff and we were organizing and everything. And then I suddenly planned, like, I'll perform. I did not have any other idea. And my friends were like, okay, so sudden. I was like, yeah. So I just took some of the folk songs because I don't know even how I like folk and I can relate and I really like this genre. And maybe I am not excelling in it, but I want to learn more and practice more and all. So after that, so NSHM, Why Step Up was the first one where I performed the folk, and then one or two here and then. And again, lockdown, as we all know, we got time to again, to escape from the mundane, monotonous life from work and everything, social distancing and everything. So at that time again we thought, okay, I started singing again and posting some, and it really feels good when you see your near and dear ones on Facebook and all commenting. It really boosts singers and everybody. So that is my story in short. That's what.
I thank the stars for this entire quarantine situation, listening to your performance, because I think this is truly a blessing in disguise that you rediscovering music has been such a boon for viewers. So thank God for the pandemic on that note, Ankita. I think it
Yeah.
was truly, truly
Yeah,
amazing.
exactly.
And I think the best part about knowing the flow of the event is that I know what you're going to perform next, and that is my soul song personally. That is my go to jam. So, whenever I am feeling low, that is my happy song. So, I'm not going to give more spoilers than that because the viewers will be disappointed, but I am truly excited and biting my nails to listen to your next performance. So, over to you, Ankita.
Okay. Okay, I'm so happy to know that you're also excited for this song. Shalini, thank you so much. And thank you all for joining. I would like to know, how you all have been, if I'm audible properly and everything, and how it's going on, because I am really doing it for the first time. So I need a lot of feedbacks from you. So yeah, so this is the next up will be a song from Local Train. I'm sure a lot of people are mad over this song, and so am I. And a friend of mine also suggested this song that when I was pondering over some songs and so it's like खुदी को खुद से मिलाने. Like we often fail to understand that who you are actually. So it's for introducing your own self with your own self, and it's like free from all the chains, and that inside within we have a lot of chains entwining ourselves, and just making us stay put in one place. But why don't we just break free, break the chains, like the theme goes, and introduce yourself with your own self and the free you? That is what we are talking about today. So next up will be Khudi. Okay, so yeah. खुद को खुद से मिलाने चला है ओ दीवाने, खुद को खुद से मिलाने चला है ओ दीवाने, गवाह है गुजरे ज़माने, जले है जब परवाने, खुद को खुद से मिलाने चाहे ओ दीवाने. तेरा है आलम ये रुकना ना तुझको गवारा, तेरा है वक्त भी इस पर किसी का न पहरा, उड़े जो दिल की पतंग से जुड़े हैं वो याराने, जवा दिन जब जिंदगी के जब गम हो बेगाने, ख्वाबों के बादलों में उड़ा है ओ दीवाने, गवाह है गुजरे ज़माने, जले है जब परवाने, खुद को खुद से मिलाने चला है ओ दीवाने. लिख दे ये फसाना, देखे जो जमाना, तारों से आगे हो ख्वाबों का ठिकाना, लिख दे ये फसाना, देखे जो जमाना, तारों से आगे हो ख्वाबों का ठिकाना, है झुका जहां चढ़ गए दुआ, है रुका जहां है झुका जहां चढ़ गए रवा, हम हुए रवा, खुद को खुद से मिलाने चले हैं ओ दीवाने, खुद को खुद से मिलाने चला है ओ दीवाने.
We have a bit of a technical lag here, and but thank God that we got to see that performance first, because if not for Khudi, this show would literally have been incomplete for me, because I was not going to move from here unless and until I would have listened to Khudi, because that's my personal favorite jam all the time, always obsessed about that song. And Ankita, what a singer, what a performer. Truly, truly, truly mesmerizing. I think every performance that we have in store with us today, each one of them is so unique, so beautiful, so mesmerizing. And not just the entertainment part of it. I think whatever we had in store beyond the entertainment, the stories, the CSR initiative, all of them so worthy of being included, because I think we need to talk about all of this. And as I always say, revolutions happen when people open their mouth, when people start off a discussion and kickstart a discussion about something. That's the first step towards a change. That's the first step towards making about changes happen around us. Without discussions, without talking about them, without starting off the topic around them, nothing really can be achieved. And that's the power of communication in general. And I think that's the beauty of URL as well. Because we here as a platform, we are a pioneer of starting off with topics that nobody else talks about. We are the pioneers of initiating conversations surrounding topics that most of the people ignore in our day to day lives. And I think it gives me immense pride and immense joy to understand, to know that we URL are doing something about it. Every time that we really talk about things surrounding stigma about COVID that the CSR initiative did, I think many people sit back and ask themselves, are we really wrong to judge other people? I think that's the beauty of starting off discussions. Okay, so we have you back. I was disheartened, Ankita, because the technical lag made me
Yeah,
like I need to see the end of this performance, because I'm not
me
moving
too.
out of here unless and until I get to see the end of the performance. So, Ankita,
Okay,
I'm not going to
so
take much of your
what?
time.
I don't even. Okay, so did you guys? I mean, was I audible till the end, or
Yes, you
when I
were
got disconnected,
audible.
I didn't have a track
No,
of
no,
it.
no.
Okay.
Khudi was not disrupted at all. Khudi could not be disrupted at all. Khudi happened beautifully, but I think you are wanted even more than Khudi. So I think people are waiting to listen to you. And so over to you, Ankita. Let's have your performance.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, that we often fail to understand, that what we are dreaming of and what we are doing exactly, if it doesn't match. So often we fail to understand that, like I said in the beginning, that why don't you just go out and introduce yourself with your own self, and that is also a kind of freedom, that you are breaking off your shackles and breaking off all your, dilemmas and everything, and that's what you're doing. You're खुद से your खुद से आप खुद को मिला रहे हो, that is what. So I think that if we can do, you can just say that it's my independence after all. Okay, so without taking much time, I'll go over to the last song, and that is another beautiful, by another beautiful singer. I'm very afraid that I could sing her song, and I would ask the audience that if you could please excuse me if there are any kind of mistakes. This is a song of Sona Mahapatra, the Sona Mahapatra, my one of the very favorites. And I think all the women out there can correlate to this song very nicely, because it is for us and it is for all actually, that there are your dreams, if we are talking about, but the path is not very straight for women or for India or anywhere, it usually happens. So still we have the hope and the wish to break off all of these and live with freedom, whatever you like to do and whichever way you like to live. Nobody is going to question you with all the hindrances and what society tells us and all these blah blah things. So this is one such song where we talk about society, and if I want to specify it, it can be for girls as well, and that to live without any restraints, if I have to be very specific. So then I would start with it.
दीवारें ऊंची है, गलियां है तंग, लंबी डगर है पर हिम्मत संग, पाँव पे छाले और सांसें बुलंद, लड़ने चली हूँ आजादी के जंग। बेखौफ आजाद है जीना मुझे, बेखौफ आजाद है रहना मुझे, बेखौफ आजाद है जीना मुझे, बेखौफ आजाद है रहना मुझे। रीति की जंजीरें खा गई जंग, न्याय की मंदिर भी हो गए भंग, जमाना चले ना चले मेरे संग, बोलूंगी हल्ला आवाज दबंग। बेखौफ आजाद है कहना मुझे, बेखौफ आजाद है रहना मुझे, बेखौफ आजाद है कहना मुझे, बेखौफ आजाद है रहना मुझे। छोटे जिस्म पर और मरहम उमंग, लाश नहीं हूँ मन जिंदा पतंग, दिल में उम्मीदें और खुशियों के रंग, हर आंसू बनेगा एक नई तरंग। हाँ, बेखौफ आजाद है बहना मुझे, बेखौफ आजाद है रहना मुझे, बेखौफ आजाद है जीना मुझे, बेखौफ आजाद है रहना मुझे। So with this, I would like to say to a message, to all the viewers and all the people there, that just break off all your shackles, and whether it's from the society, whether it's for your own self, and just let it go and just free yourself. And also definitely don't forget to reunite with yourself and find what you like, and just break the chains are like very cliche now. So that's all. Thank you, Anisha.
Ankita, I think your entire performance theme was breaking the chains and rediscovering ourselves and falling in love with ourselves. But since you are miles away from me at the moment, here is me breaking the chain and sending you the tightest virtual hug from here. And hoping that your performance truly
Thank you to you.
inspires many. And thank you for that really mesmerizing performance, Ankita. That was truly, 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 truly amazing. Thank you so much, Ankita. I wish you an amazing
Thank you.
Independence Day and
Thank
an
you.
even more
Thank you
amazing
so
evening.
much. You too.
Thank you. Thank you,
You
Ankita.
too.
Stay
Have a wonderful
safe.
evening, because there are lined up super performances lined up for you as well. And I'm sure people will have a lovely time. And thank you so much, NSHM and URL team, for having me. It was really a pleasure. Thank you.
It was truly, truly
Bye.
our honor, Ankita. Bye. Take care. Stay safe and stay happy.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye
all my
bye.
friends, Soyona, Abhishek, Shalini, Anvesha, all for joining. Thank you.
And to all the people who were commenting, so many amazing comments for Ankita. I think Ankita saw all of that. So, on behalf of her, thank you to everyone, to all of the viewers who are constantly showering us with so much of love. We truly, truly are grateful. And I think I'm going to give you all a virtual hug on behalf of Ankita to all her fan following. Thank you for staying tuned for that performance. Now, Ankita said that she accreditates her entire productivity to the pandemic. The next up that we have is also almost similar. Next up, we have Pranav from BMS 5th semester, and he's a multi talented guy. A guy who can sing, who can dance, who is an aspiring actor, who can do rap. And well, his rapping is accredited again to the productivity that comes along with the pandemic. I mean, guys, this pandemic is a boon for so many people, and I cannot help but be positive about it. So, welcome, Pranav.
Thank you so much, Anisha ji.
Thank you. Thank you
Hello,
for being
everyone.
a part of URL Freedom. We are so thrilled to have you here amongst us today. And so, first things first, you have been
Okay.
productive enough, and I have been told that your entire rapping interest and everything is accredited to the pandemic situation. The
Yes,
quarantine is
yes,
what has made you productive about it. So you tell me first
exactly.
about how that happened for you, because I need to get inspired about doing something beyond what I'm doing on a daily basis, which is eating and sleeping. So tell me your secret about finding your
Okay.
passion during pandemic.
Actually, first 2 3 weeks I was a bit going through a lot of stuffs. You can say loneliness or depression kind of a thing. But I guess everybody is going through it right now. Most of the people. But on this has made me some to do something. Like, what am I doing? Why am I sitting idle? Why am I waiting and doing just nothing and only eating and sleeping, just like you said right now? And I was also doing the same thing. But my friends insisted, my parents, they all helped me. They said that do something about it, do something, utilize this time, do experience something new. So I always try to challenge myself. I always try to do something which is out of my comfort zone. So I decided to write what I feel, what I am feeling, actually what I am going through right now. I started writing and I writing and I did it and I did it and I have that beat sense. And so I thought that maybe I should make it a song. Maybe I should make a song, because my friends insisted. They helped me. They shoot a video also, and I posted it on social media, and it was loved by so many people. And I then after that I decided maybe I this is the time I should do something out of the box. So here I am doing, and I'm here doing a live session with you all. It's my very first live session, and rest
I
I'm looking forward
think
to it.
I think Pranav,
Okay.
your friends, they are amazing. They are amazing for
Yeah,
pushing you
they're very
forward
supportive.
to finding your passion. And we are equally thrilled here to see what you have in store for us. So I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
going to
yeah.
disturb you in between the performance, because I know that the theme of your performance is extremely strong, and I think it's
Eh,
extremely emotional as well and hard hitting. So I think you are going to connect with the viewers much better, and I am already seeing comments from your fans who are eagerly waiting for your performance. So over to you, Pranav.
Okay, 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 okay. So first of all, I would like to wish everyone a very happy Independence Day. I hope you all are doing very well, and today we are celebrating 74 years of Independence Day. So फ्रीडम, आज का जो टॉपिक है फ्रीडम, फ्रीडम से हम लोग यही देखते हैं, फ्रीडम में हम लोग यही याद करते हैं, फिर उन फ्रीडम फाइटर्स को जो खुद शहीद हो गए ताकि हम सुकून से जी सके, ताकि हमें वो आज़ादी मिल सके. बीट महात्मा गांधी, लोकमान्य तिलक, भगत सिंह, Sarojini Naidu, then we have Rani Lakshmibai, each and everyone who sacrificed their life so that we could live peacefully. But are we facing any kind of freedom? Is there a real freedom? क्या फ्रीडम हमें दिखता है, अभी है वो फ्रीडम, हम क्या फील कर पाते हैं, कहाँ है, कहीं ना कहीं वो लैक करता है क्या? सो उस टॉपिक में मैं बाद में जाऊंगा, वो एकदम आउट ऑफ द टॉप वो बॉक्स है. बट आई बी स्टार्ट बाय रिमेम्बरिंग दोज हु आर स्टिल यू नो जो पहरा दे रहे हैं हमें सरहद पे, उन इंडियन आर्मी का, जो उनके वजह से ही आज हम और आप यहाँ पे लाइव कर रहे हैं. एंड वो जो डिजर्व करते हैं उन्हें वो मिलता नहीं है. तो आई वुड आई वांट टू गिव अ ट्रिब्यूट टू देम. तो एक रैप मैंने उनके लिए लिखा है. आई होप सबको अच्छा लगेगा. सो ज़्यादा वक्त ज़ाया नहीं करता हूँ, मैं शुरू कर देता हूँ. I'll take a little bit of time. So I guess everybody can hear it. आवाज आ रही है क्या मेरी? Okay, let's start. Here we go. Yeah. Indian Army. It's King Leo in the house. Desh Bhakti. Here we go. आजा मैं मिलाऊं तुझे इंडियन आर्मी से, जंग भी करे तो बेटा शेर भी दहाड़ते। नक्सलाइट या आतंकवादी इनके आगे ढेर है, ये बापू के है बाप ना ही पबजी का कोई खेल है। लौंडे आजकल के है आशिकी में रोते, और ये फौज देखो धूप में है चैन से न सोते। माँ बाप भाई दोस्त से बिछड़ के है रहते, बॉर्डर पे है पैर को जमाए हुए रखते। रगों में है दौड़े हिंदुस्तान का ही खून, धर्म जात पात से दूर देशभक्ति का जुनून। बाजू में है इतना दम ये तोड़ते जंजीरों को, ये गीत मेरा संगीत मेरा सरहद पे रहते वीरों को। जीते भारत के लिए और मरते भी ये शान से, पाकिस्तान हो या चाइना इनको मिलाया औकात से। गुरूर है उन जवानों पे, सलाम है ये वर्दी को, कर्ज तुम्हारा है हम पे इस देश की हर एक बस्ती को। दरखास्त यही है जो सुन रहे मेरा गाना, दिखे कोई वर्दी वाला तो सम्मान से हाथ उठाना। फिल्मों के हीरो आम आदमी जैसे है जी रहा, असली हीरो वो है जो उस सरहद पे है लड़ रहा। फर्क तो है इतना कि हम चैन की रोटी खाते हैं और वो है सीने पे गोली खाते और डालते हैं। जज्बात कैसे मैं बयां करूं कविता में, हर माँ को मिले बेटा जैसे कमल खिला कोप में, कमल खिला हो कोप में, कमल खिला हो कोप में, कमल खिला हो में, हर माँ को मिला बेटा जैसे कमल खिला कोप में। या सल्यूट इंडियन आर्मी, सल्यूट इंडियन आर्मी, सल्यूट इंडियन आर्मी, जो घर पे घुस के मारे वो है अपनी इंडियन आर्मी। सल्यूट इंडियन आर्मी, सल्यूट इंडियन आर्मी, सल्यूट इंडियन आर्मी, जो घर पे घुस के मारे वो है अपनी इंडियन आर्मी। So this was the first song that I was dedicating to the ones who are, you know, जो हमारे सरहद पे है और हमारी रक्षा कर रहे हैं। तो ये छोटा सा अप्रिशिएशन था उनके लिए। I hope you guys liked it. So thank you Devashmita, thank you all, thank you everyone. And Abhishek Ganguly को thank you everyone that you all liked it. And ये था एक ट्रिब्यूट उन फौजियों का, उन इंडियन आर्मी का। और आगे बढ़ते हैं। इसके बाद जो मैं एक रैप लिखा हूँ वो है जिस फ्रीडम की मैं बात कर रहा था, फ्रीडम फाइटर्स की को तो हम हमेशा याद करते ही हैं, पर जो फ्रीडम क्या वो असल में हम फेस कर रहे हैं, क्या वो फ्रीडम का लिबर्टी हमें मिल रही है? मैं बात कर रहा हूँ उन मजदूरों की जो हमारे इंडिया में काफ़ी मुश्किलें सहते हैं। अभी हाल फिलहाल के लॉकडाउन में इन्होंने कितने लंबे सफ़र का तय किया है, पैदल चल के इन्हें घर जाना पड़ा था। तो बहुत ही कष्ट सहे इन्होंने, जबकि यही है इनकी वजह से हमें खाने पीने का सुख मिलता है, हम घर बैठ के खा सकते हैं। इनके बिना हम कैसे सर्वाइव करते? दे आर ऑल्सो एन आर्मी, राइट? दे आर ऑल्सो हेल्पिंग अस, दे आर ऑल्सो डूइंग समथिंग फॉर इंडिया, दे आर ऑल्सो हेल्पिंग। सो दे आर नॉट, बट दे आर नॉट गेटिंग दैट अप्रिसिएशन दैट दे डिजर्व। तो मैं वही करता हूँ, दैट द वंस हु मैं उनके लिए कुछ करता हूँ, that so that they get that appreciation, they can, they deserve it, that's what I feel. तो उन मजदूरों के लिए मैं एक रैप लिखा हूँ, तो आज उनके बिहाफ में एक गाना मैं पेश करूंगा। सो हियर आई गो। आई गेस मैं सबको बोर नहीं कर रहा, आप कमेंट्स में बताओ कैसा लग रहा है। और बहुत ही अलग टाइप का ये मिला है मुझे करने को, वर्चुअल ऑनलाइन एक रैप करने का इनके भी और इनके लिए। और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है कि मुझे ये मौका मिला। Okay, I'll take a few minutes. So let's start. Let's get started. Okay. Yeah. मजदूर मजदूरों के बिहाफ में। और ये गाना मैंने बहुत पहले लिखा है और बहुत जनों ने सुना भी है। Let's hear it. हाँ, दास्तां ये मेरी अटकी है जुबान पे, मैं कुछ तो कहने आया अपनी देश की आवाम से। बस्ता लेके चल दिया मैं अपने रास्ते, सफर बहुत ही लंबी है तो सुन लो मेरे वास्ते। हाँ, मजदूर हूँ मैं पेश से औकात से, जो लड़ रहा है मुश्किलों से देख अपने आप में। घर तो लौटना है पहियों से या पैदल ही, या फर्क तो नहीं, चाहे मीलों दूर ही सही। आत्मनिर्भर होके चल लेता मैं कोसों दूर, पर अकेलेपन से हूं नहीं मैं मजबूर। मेरे साथ है मेरे बच्चे बूढ़े माँ बाप, जो मुझ पर निर्भर होके चल रहे ये बेकसूर। खाने को न रोटी है न पानी है पिलाने को, इस तपती गर्मी में भी चल पड़ा मैं अब तो जीने को। बंद पड़े हैं सारे रास्ते आसानी के, मैं मर न जाऊं सोच के ये वायरस या भूखेपन से, बस अपने घर में लौट जाने की तो ख्वाहिश है। और सोनू सूद जैसे लोगों की हमें सिफारिश है, हम मजदूरों पे कौन ध्यान दे और क्या इंसाफ ले, जब अपने ही इंसानियत न होने का एहसास दे। और कहने को ही क्या बचा रखा है, हम तो जिए या मरे पर इसमें तुमको क्या पड़ा है। तरस न खाओ हम पे, हम तो ऐसे जी लेंगे, पर कल को ना रहे तो सालों देश कैसे चलाओगे। तो ये बहुत सोचने वाली बात है, कल को अगर ये मजदूर ना रहे तो ये देश कैसे चलेगा भाई। ये था मजदूरों के ऊपर। आई होप आप समझ रहे हैं मैं क्या कहना चाह रहा हूँ अपने रैप के थ्रू। मैं एक मैसेज छोड़ रहा हूँ, आई गेस एवरीबडी इज गेटिंग इट, दैट थिंग्स आर स्टिल नॉट बीन हाईलाइटेड हियर। बहुत कुछ है जो अभी तक लोगों को दिखता है पर वो अनदेखा कर देते हैं। तो यही है यार कि बहुत कुछ है अभी देखना बाकी है, बहुत कुछ है जो हमें अपनी सोच बदलना बहुत जरूरी है। हमें बहुत कुछ चीजों पे ध्यान भी देना है और फालतू चीजों को हटा देना है, दिमाग से निकाल देना। बहुत से ऐसे चीज हैं इंडिया में जो कि हम लोग मतलब फेस कर रहे हैं, एंड थिंग्स आर गेटिंग वर्स एंड वर्स, बट देयर इज होप, देयर इज समथिंग दैट वी वेट फॉर, दैट इज वी एज एन इंडियन होप। होप रखना बहुत जरूरी है। होप रहेगा तभी देश अच्छा बढ़ेगा आगे, और अच्छे तरक्की होंगे और कुछ अच्छा होगा, कुछ अच्छा रिजल्ट निकलेगा। तो ये था मजदूरों के ऊपर। और लास्ट जो मैं टॉपिक में आना चाहूंगा वो है हमारी भारतीय नारी, हमारी इंडियन गर्ल्स, लेडीज, जो हमारी भारत माता पहली। तो आजकल जो इंसिडेंट्स हो रहे हैं, आजकल जो लोग फेस कर रहे हैं, स्पेशली द लेडीज, द गर्ल्स, नारी, हमारे भारतीय समाज की, आजकल जो इतने रेप हो रहे हैं, दहशत दरिंदों, जो इतने हमारे इतने दरिंदे जो फैल गए हैं सोसाइटी में, और लड़कियां जो है हमारे सोसाइटी के, वो कैसा फील करती है, उनके मन में वो डर जो है बैठ गया है कि यार यहाँ क्या हम सेफ है, हम क्या आज़ादी से नहीं घूम सकते। यार ये तो हमारा भी देश है, राइट, वी आर इंडिया, वी आर लिविंग इन इंडिया, अ डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री, एंड वी आर स्टिल फेसिंग दिस काइंड ऑफ फियर। और ये डर हर किसी को रहता है, उनके मन में वो डर रहता ही है कि भाई कल को ऐसा हो गया तो क्या करूंगी मैं। तो उनके बिहाफ में उन डर को, उस डर को सपोर्ट देने के लिए कि आप अकेले नहीं हो, एंड उनके बिहाफ में आज एक रैप के साथ मैं इस सेशन को एंड करूंगा। तो ये लास्ट रैप भारतीय नारियों के ऊपर। Here we go. मैं कमेंट्स पढ़ रहा हूँ, सबको अच्छा लग रहा है, थैंक यू सो मच गाइस। और मैं स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ फिर, भारतीय नारी शुरू कर। Yeah, Emily on the house. Here we go.
काम पे तो जाती हूँ फिर क्यों ना निकलूं शाम को, निकलना पाप है तो लड़कियां ये तुम भी जान लो, सजा भी देंगे फिर कुछ ज्ञानी लड़के तुमको, खुद नशे में रहते भंड है प्रणाम उन लौंडों को, शरीफों के पुजारी छूते ये मजाक में है, और हम है इनकी इज्जत को मिलाते खाक में है, ये आशिकी का भूत सवार इनके सर पे है, मैं ना किया जो हमने रखा एसिड इनके घर पे है, शाम होते डालेंगे मिला के उसको पानी में, गलती होगी मेरी लड़की तो वह है बस नादानी में, हमारे छोटे कपड़ों से है इनको दिक्कतें तो क्या बची हुई लड़की या सलवार सूट में सेब खड़े, रेप होते ही मोमबत्ती लेके करते सब बवाल, ये वही है लड़के जो लड़की को बोले बंदी माल, सोच सबकी छोटी है और नीयत सबकी खोटी है, कपड़ों की लंबाई से डिसाइड कैरेक्टर होती है, मर्दानगी दिखाने रोज निकलते हैं खोज में, खून इतना ही गर्म तो भर्ती होना फौज में, ये टोले शोले किस काम की है भाई, जब वो मेरे दुपट्टे को फाड़ते और तुम हो बस खड़े, और तुम हो बस खड़े और तुम हो बस खड़े, हाँ तुम हो बस खड़े, मेरे दुपट्टे फाड़ते और तुम हो बस खड़े, बेटी बचाओ बैनर हर जगह पे है लगते हटते, फिर अगले दिन ही किसी और के है कपड़े फटते, बंदे वहां भटकते फिर भी ये कुछ नहीं करते, बाद में ताने देने से बिल्कुल भी नहीं थकते, जो भी हो ये आज के है नारी जो है सब पे भारी, चुप नहीं रहेंगे हम कर लो जनहित में जारी, बेटियों ने ही फ्यूचर है संभाला इंडिया का, 74 साल आजादी के पर फ्रीडम से ना कोई नाता, ना 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 फ्रीडम से ना कोई नाता, ना 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 फ्रीडम से ना कोई नाता, हम तो लड़की है भाई, हमारे लिए क्या फ्रीडम, नहीं ना, सोच बदलो तभी देश बदलेगा।
Pranav, I was busy searching for words that would best suit your performance and I couldn't come up with any. But there was one compliment that stuck with me, and I think that is going to best suit your performance. That is, Pranav, you truly were on fire. So I think your performance was on point and it was legit fire. I mean, Pranav, that was amazing, mind blowing, Pranav.
Thank,
And I think your fans call you
thank
King
you.
Leo, and I think you have an
Yeah,
amazing nickname because truly the word king suits you when it comes to rapping, and I think you befit the title that has been given to you by your fans, Pranav. What an
thank
amazing
you.
rap that was, but even more than amazing, I feel what was really amazing was the theme that you decided to choose and to speak about and to make a rap about. I think when people like you talk about such hard hitting topics in ways that is entertaining and at the same time it hits right at the place where it should hit the people, I think that is truly commendable, Pranav. And I think
Thank you,
on behalf of
thank you
all
so
the viewers and on behalf of all the fans, thank you for
much.
doing that. And I think you people can truly bring about a change with your words. So thank you for that, Pranav. And
Thank you so much,
thank
and
you. And yes, Pranav, please say what you were about to say.
हाँ जाते जाते यही बोलूंगा that the ones who are doing this artistic works, आप लोग यार घर में बैठ के ना जस्ट बैठे मत रहो, मैं वही बोलूंगा कुछ ना कुछ करते रहो, एनीथिंग दैट यू वांट टू डू, ओके, डांस करो, आप लिखो, आपको जो अच्छा लगे, आप कुकिंग करो, कुछ भी करो, वीडियोस डालो, entertain karo. I like entertaining people, that's my job, that's what I do, and that's what makes me feel happy, and I will request each and everyone that कुछ खराब नहीं है, जो है वो है, जो हो रहा है अच्छा के लिए हो रहा है, एंड कोई अकेला नहीं है, सब हम लोग सब है, एक दूसरे के साथ है, हमेशा है, एंड ये चीज बहुत हेल्प करेगी, चुपचाप बैठने से कुछ नहीं होगा, कुछ ना कुछ करते रहना है, ताकि आप लोनली फील ना करो, आप लेफ्ट आउट फील ना करो, ये चीज बहुत हेल्प करेगी, तो यही एक रिक्वेस्ट थी
Thank
सबसे, डू इट, ओके,
Thank you, Pranav.
डू बी
And now that I liked
प्रोडक्टिव।
your performance, I'm going to listen to
यस
you and I'm going to get inspired and do something beyond eating and sleeping because that is going to be
या
my
डेफिनेटली
return gift because I truly love that amazing performance. So I'm going to listen to your words and follow those. Thank you so much,
डेफिनेट,
Pranav.
थैंक यू
Please
सो मच,
stay safe
थैंक
and take care, and we'll see you soon. Chalo,
यू,
bye
ओके
bye.
ओके, बाय बाय, थैंक यू, बाय।
Bye. Bye. Now, we have back to back performances for today, and we are in no mood to stop. So, I think next up, I'm going to be with the person on screen who is again a multi talented person. We have with us the amazingly talented Preetham, who is a percussionist and a drummer, and is here with the theme of the performance, Call of the Land. Oh, sorry, it's Freedom from the Fear. Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think if we keep on talking, there will be echo issue.
Yes.
So, sir, please, over to you. Let's start with the performance.
First of all, happy Independence Day to all of you. I just want to perform a very small, very small part of my instruments, and it's a collaboration of a few percussion instruments. You can see there's a trombone, there's a djembe, there's a oud. These all three are belongs from the wall percussion section. And well, we have a drum kit here, so let's start.
So,
So
what a
what a
performance!
performance.
I think, sir, there is a little bit of echo problem, which is why we are muting your mic while I am having the honor to praise you for that amazing performance, sir. I think your performance is themed as freedom from fear, and rightfully so, sir, because
So, sir,
listening
because
to it
listening to it
actually ignites the soul, gets rid of every negativity that lingers in our mind. So I would like to ask you, sir, as to why did you come up with the theme freedom from fear? I mean, what is your perspective for choosing the theme freedom from fear for your instrumental performance, sir? Unmute the mic, please.
please. Oh, sorry.
Yes, sir. It's okay,
Yes,
sir.
yes, yes,
It's
sir.
it's
It's okay, sir. Okay, so can you hear me now? Good. So, as you all know that I'm a music educator, I'm a music teacher. So, when I teach my student, I always say them that no matter you need to choose this instrument or choose any other instrument as your professional life. I mean, you can choose as a hobby. You can choose this instrument as your daily life. I mean, you need to watch all those things. Your angerness, I mean, suppose you're not happy with your job, whoever you are, I mean, your profession might be a doctor, maybe engineer, as an IT fellow, whoever you are. So, whoever you might be in the future. So, you need to watch all those bad things, sadness, remove from your daily life. So, music can help you, especially rhythm instrument can help you to do that. So, help you to remove all those things, daily life, frustrations, depression. So, it's free from every negativity inside of us. I mean, you need to free all those things. That's my thing.
unmute me once, please.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. I think I truly understand your inspiration behind your music. But I think after listening to such an amazing, mesmerizing instrumental performance, the viewers are in awe. So I would personally, on behalf of all the viewers, would like to know what draws you to this kind of music, because it's not every day that we come across people who is so multi-talented like you, who can play the percussion as well as the drum and come up with something that involves the beautiful integration of both of these instruments. So, sir, what is your story behind
Story
this?
behind it. See, my story is like it's like an ordinary Indian guy. I like to watch cricket. I like to watch football. It's not like nobody in my family before I am nobody in my family into music. I mean, there is nobody who took the initiative to take this thing into a professional life. So I'm the first one, and it's not very easy journey. It's tough, and my inspiration is actually every story is very inspiring me. Like whatever happened to around to us nowadays, not nowadays. I mean, it's beginning to your born, beginning to everything, every incident. It's like a story in your life. Everything. I mean, you need to get experience throughout all these things, bad, good, very excellent thing in your life, very positive thing in your life. Everything is very inspiring. So I just took all those things, all those elements into my music, my musicality. So you can get very sorrow from the instruments. I mean, it's like sometimes if you watch, I'm playing very soft note. So it's not mean that drums is not means or rhythm, any instrument is not means you need to play loud every time. Of course, there is some loudness also. In our life also, in human life, you can see there is a loudness, there is softness also in your life. So everything is matched with the music. Everything goes with the music, and everything is goes with any instrument. You can behind me. That's it.
Unmute. Thank you so much, sir. I think your performance, I don't have words to express, but I think the love from the fans, the love from the viewers, they speak for themselves. So thank you so much for that performance, sir. And we were truly honored, sir. And on behalf of the entire URL team, thank you so much for being a part of us today. Thank you so much, sir. Please take care, stay safe, and I hope we get the honor to see you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye, sir. Take care.
You too. Bye bye. Take care.
I think that was such a worthy performance and such a beautiful performance. I think people like them, they truly set the standards for music and the beauty of music and the mesmerizing capability of music to heal us and to entangle us in a beautiful world that exists, right? And now we have a last performance for today. Whenever I say the last performance, I truly speak with all of my heart. It literally breaks me into pieces because whenever the night comes to an end, it almost makes me feel gloomy and sad. But we keep our promise and we almost always make sure that we have a lineup of all of the best artists. So we always save one of the best for the last because each performance that we have on URL is one of its kind. And that is why, to wrap up today's amazing evening that we have with us Arjita Roy with her theme of performance, Call of the Land. Hello, Arjita.
Hello. Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day. And looking at you and looking at your smile, and I'm filled with all the positivity in the world. So I'm not going to take much of your time because of the eco issue, but I'm going to let you start the performance and let you mesmerize the viewers for tonight because yours is the wrap-up performance, and I think the viewers are really depressed about URL freedom coming to an end, and you have come to the rescue for the viewers. So over to you, Arjita.
मेरी ज़मीं महबूबा मेरी तेरे नस-नस में तेरा इश्क बहे ये गाना करे कभी रंग तेरा जिस्मों से निकल कर खून कहे ऐ मेरी ज़मीं अफ़सोस नहीं जो तेरे लिए सौ दर्द सहे महफूज रहे तेरी आन सदा चाहे जान मेरी ये रहे न रहे तेरी मिट्टी मैं जावा खुद बनके मैं जावा तेरी नदियों में बह जावा तेरी धूप में लहरावा तेरी सी है दिल की भारत हमको जान से प्यारा है सबसे न्यारा गुलिस्ता हमारा है सदियों से भारत भूमि दुनिया की शान है भारत माँ के रक्षा में जीवन कुर्बान है भारत हमको जान से प्यारा है देश मेरे मेरी जान है देश मेरे मेरी जान है देश मेरे मेरी शान है देश है गुजरने वाली हवा बता मेरा इतना काम करेगी क्या मेरे गाँव जा मेरे दोस्तों को सलाम दे मेरे गाँव में है जो मोगनी चाह रहती है मेरे दिल रुबा उसे मेरा प्यार का जाम दे उसे मेरे प्यार का जाम दे वही थोड़ी दूर है मेरा मेरे घर में है मेरी मोरे माँ मेरी माँ की पैर को छू के तो उसे उसके बेटे का नाम दे है गुजरने वाली हवा जरा मेरे दोस्तों मेरे दिलरुबा मेरे माँ को मेरा प्याम दे उन्हें जाके तू ये प्याम दे मैं वापस आऊंगा फिर अपनी गाँव में उसी की छाँव में कि माँ के आंचल से गाँव की पीपल से उसी की काजल से किया जो वादा था वो निभाऊंगा मैं एक दिन आऊंगा मैं एक दिन आऊंगा मैं एक दिन आऊंगा मैं एक दिन आऊंगा थैंक यू
Arjita, I think you truly ended tonight on the most beautiful note ever. So thank you for doing that, Arjita. And on behalf of the entire URL team, I think every viewer and every person involved in this program would agree there couldn't have been a better ending to URL freedom than your performance. So thank you so much, Arjita. That performance truly was beautiful and soulful. And we were thrilled to have you with us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. The pleasure was all ours. Please stay safe, take care, and I can't wait to see you performing live soon again, Arjita. Until then, please take care, and I hope to see you soon again. Happy Independence Day again, Arjita. Take care. Bye-bye.
Happy Independence Day. Bye-bye.
Now, wrapping up URL is truly the hardest thing to do, and I think my tears wouldn't be fake if they start rolling down my cheek right now. URL has been a journey of its own. And ever since the quarantine started and this entire idea of URL came about, I think it has been a humble experience for me personally. Having been hosting this for so many episodes, I feel like a part of URL and I'm so humbled and grateful to be so. The students of NSHM, under the mentorship of Firoz Muhammad, have come up with this entire URL concept, and what a beautiful, worthy concept. Because here at URL, we are not just coming up with events, we are trying to bring together a virtual family that celebrates the smallest of things, that celebrates life in quarantine. And every people who is involved with this URL, we truly are grateful to you. Sometimes I make mistakes. Thank you to the viewers for bearing with me on all those times. Sometimes I manage to entertain you on a decent level. Thank you for appreciating me all those times. On behalf of the artists, thank you to all the viewers watching for showering us with all the love. And on behalf of all the curators of URL, you are truly a part of the family. And when I say a family, please know that a family is beyond the event. It stays forever and ever and always. So thank you for being a part of the URL family. I hope we keep meeting and we keep getting the chance to entertain you guys. Until that happens, please remember to stay safe and to stay happy. That's a new motto after today. Not just to stay safe, but to stay happy. Because that was the theme about today, right? Discovering ourselves amid this whole pandemic situation. I hope we managed to do that. We managed to fall in love with ourselves just a little. And until you guys become successful in doing that, we are going to come back soon with URL. Until then, take care, and I hope to see you guys soon again. Happy Independence Day. Jai Hind.